Okay, thanks very much for having me here. This will be fairly brief, because Alison's almost stolen my thunder there with some of the issues about Minecraft. She's introduced you to those. So we are currently investigating ways of developing our Minecraft modification of our Minecraft mod called BeIMCraft, Built Environment Information Modeling. Craft is what it stands for, and it really takes Minecraft and adds some BIM related features and some real life challenges and constraints to the Minecraft platform. How many of you are aware of what Minecraft does or have children that have played it? You know, there's always an assumption that everybody knows what it is, so I'm going to just in case, oops. Let me see, how can I get this to play? There we go. This is what you can do with these chunky blocks of Minecraft. Culture Tech is an organisation that works with schools up around the northwest of Northern Ireland, and they've modelled some of the main buildings or sort of milestone buildings that you would find as tourist attractions around Northern Ireland. And then they've done this with some of the school children up around the Derry, Londonderry kind of end of Northern Ireland. So that's Belfast City Hall. Obviously, it's not in a big green field, but you can see the level of detail that you can get to, even with these effectively 1 metre cube blocks. The great cranes there, Harlan and Wolff. And other people are doing these sorts of things. If you go digging, you can find all sorts of buildings and structures that have been modelled in Minecraft. But those are just a few of the examples that others have worked on. So, just to give you some stats on Minecraft, since the beginning of 2016, there's been 53,000 copies of Minecraft sold per day. There's over 100 million copies have been sold, and the pocket editions, the ones that you can play on mobile devices, are the most popular. But if you go to the PC version, as of earlier this week, there was over 30 million copies have been sold. Now, if you go to Ordnance Survey Northern Ireland, all of Northern Ireland has been modelled in Minecraft, or is available in Minecraft. And I know from talking to Alan earlier in the week that Ireland has its topography completely modelled as well, and all of Great Britain is available as a Minecraft version. I'm not sure if you were involved with that, Alison, but there's a nice bit of land surveying that has been undertaken by somebody. So, you know, the professions can see, and Alison's actually mentioned already, the link between Minecraft, digital construction and BIM, and the professions. The problem can be that not everybody, or the children don't make that link, or are not going to make that link, because Minecraft is used in the classroom, certainly in primary schools and in secondary schools, to enhance the teaching of all sorts of subjects, from religious education to chemistry. And if you go to the education edition, my website that's available for Minecraft, you can get lesson plans and all sorts of material to support teachers at those levels. My own boy, of three, the middle boy, used Minecraft to draw up a Jewish temple for a religious education project at school. And the level of detail that he was able to put in there was fantastic. This is a particular shot of some planning engagement with the local community to revitalise an area in, I can't remember which city it is, but it was somewhere in the Netherlands. And because Minecraft's so accessible, community can come in, try to model up their ideas of what they would like to do to regenerate the area, and it's a way of engaging with stakeholders. So there's all sorts of ways. Now, how did is Minecraft going to help, make young people want to choose built environment careers? I know it was my love of Lego and mathematics and graphical design, technical communication at the time, that took me into a career in the built environment. But one thing on its own in isolation isn't going to make a difference. It needs partnership. Just to repeat what everybody's been saying, collaboration needs to. You need people that know what they're doing, get into the classrooms and helping out the teachers. The teachers are too busy delivering their own curriculums. They don't have time to learn new skills. So without external support, there's going to be no difference made without programs like Alison's there. And our Minecraft mod is a great tool, but the only way that you can have any effective outcome from that is by people taking that tool and using it in the classrooms. And we don't have the resources to do that. It does rely on industry support and working together. So these are just some of the just based on Minecraft by itself, there is collaborative working, 3D modeling, virtual reality applications. There is a HoloLens version of Minecraft. I don't think it's been supported any longer, but you can look it up on YouTube, and it's amazing what that was able to do. We can still do it with the help of IT experts that are in that field. And the Ordnance Survey type mapping. With our BeIMCraft modification, we can now think about planning, town country planning, as well as actual planning of the construction work and the actual building. Sustainability issues are built into the BeIMCraft mod. Health and safety issues, health and safety executive fines for not complying with various rules, and if a wall collapses, then you'll be fined as well. Structural stability is built into it. You can't just build anything. You have to have a foundation, obviously, before you can build a wall. If you build the wall too high, it'll collapse, those sorts of things. Comfort levels, sustainability and costing are all built in with the mod. I don't need to repeat what Roisin's been saying, but just to re-emphasise, this is an abstract from the Farmer Report and the Federation of Master Builders from 2016. The problem that you have in Ireland is reflected in Great Britain and Northern Ireland. You can see his projection there from 2016 to 2025 is suggesting a skills gap increasing from 150,000 to near 250,000 in the UK. An undergraduate dissertation from last year, the findings reflect very closely the findings that you were presenting earlier, Roisin, so we'll not go into that any further. But 92% of Northern Irish employers were struggling to recruit skilled staff, and they were having all sorts of problems because the people that they were recruiting didn't have the required skills, but were being asked to do the work that they were not capable of doing, and it's causing delivery problems and quality issues. I'm sure you've all Twitter accounts, a couple of tweets that came in earlier this week. One from Construction News, a young man called Jonathan May was extolling the requirements for employers to embrace digital solutions. So it's worth having a look at that in the Construction News from Monday. And then on, I think it was Tuesday, the Building magazine released a report of a recent survey, again reflecting very closely what Roisin's been talking about, where only 7% of 16 to 18-year-olds were considering the built environment as a career choice. Roisin would maybe know what that should be if we're going to make any difference to the skills gap. Initially I thought 7% is maybe not too bad going on the percentage of the gross national product, but I think it's going to have to be substantially more than that to make up the gap that we're concerned about. So, construction industry is changing, education is changing. The BIM Academic Forum and Higher Education Academy produced a report in 2013 that provided a framework for universities. A lot of them are adopting it with various degrees of success. I think Barry's going to be mentioning that later on, so I'll not dwell on it. There are GCSEs now in construction. I'm not sure what the equivalent of that is. That's for 13, 14-year-olds. But there are GCSEs, which is essentially quite similar to the sort of thing you're doing, only you're doing it in much more detail and much more challenging. And in education generally, as I said earlier, they are using Minecraft and iPads and tablets to try to enhance the learning curriculum and the learning experience for all sorts of different subjects. And that's why Minecraft isn't going to do the job that we need it to do on its own. It does need external support to make the linkages between the type of challenges that you'd be undertaking in Minecraft with the sorts of challenges that are faced in the built environment. Feedback from BeIMCraft so far has been incredibly positive. That's not been the issue. The issue's been the resources in terms of rolling it out. We've always envisaged having some kind of challenges and games, and I think that's going to be talked about again a wee bit later on. But you could see we're traditionally and primarily aiming at primary school children, probably P6, P7. Year 6, 7 at primary school, but it's got the opportunity to scale up, so you could probably have a challenge that's really just focusing on visuals and aesthetics, and then you could add on an extra layer of complexity with the structural aspects, the health and safety, sustainability issues, and you'll see what I mean when I play you a short video. Morgan SINDALL have sponsored BeIMCraft in Scotland, and they're rolling it out to various schools as a social corporate responsibility agenda. They have just agreed to continue to support it for the next 2 years. We've also, when we get the opportunity, we take it into some of the primary schools in the north, and there's some great activities that are rolling out of that, and the youngsters have really enjoyed participating in it. We've been reaching out to Minecraft mod developers and platform developers. Blockworks is one of the top developers, one of the largest developers of Minecraft-based platforms. They're very keen to work with us. They've given us budgets to develop the platform for the educational edition version. The redevelopment of the original BeIMCraft in a Java world, we're getting a wee bit technical now, but to develop the BeIMCraft marketplace map, which is something that people could buy. It's a bit like the Apple App Store, only it's for Minecraft apps, and it would make the platform much more accessible. One of the problems that we've had with BeIMCraft and Morgan SINDALL is getting it actually installed on the school systems, because they've got so many virus checks and systems that it's almost impossible to break through those barriers. It took a lot of work, and it shouldn't need that amount of work to get these sort of games going. And they can develop those Minecraft, the BeIMCraft things into augmented reality and virtual reality. And then to engage, we need to develop some sample projects, develop a server for the competitions that we just talked about. Competition sounds simple enough until you get into the logistics of how you're going to actually deliver it. So for that type of environment, that type of gameplay, you need to set up a server, and it's not particularly cheap. And then roll out some live workshops. But to say, we need people to come to us, they want to be involved, and maybe put their hand in their pocket in terms of sponsoring some of these developments. So if anybody would like to get on board, please have a chat with us as soon as you can. Apart from that, I just have a short video that I want to play for you that demonstrates some of the features of BeIMCraft as opposed to Minecraft. So we've created a little townscape that has some existing buildings in it. So you can see there's a health centre there, stroke hospital, there's a nightclub, there's some apartment blocks and different types of infrastructure. Within the townscape there's maybe 3 greenfield sites, and this is where the town and country planning, the infrastructure planning aspect comes into it. So you're asking the young people to think about what type of building might be, needed or valued within the existing townscape. There is a wee narrative that plays through this, but I'll just sort of talk through what's going on. As well as seeing from the outside, you can walk through. Some of these buildings have been really well developed in terms of, you go into the nightclub and you can see that it's set up like a nightclub. There's a bar and a dance floor and that kind of thing. The hospital's set up that way as well. Once you've picked your site, you have to put a foundation in before you can start to build your walls. And before that, you have to make sure that you've picked health and safety equipment for your worker. So you have to have a hard hat, high-vis jacket, your site boots and overalls. And if you go on to the job and you start to work without your safety equipment on, you get a fine. Okay, you get a penalty. There is an electronic resource, a kind of educator's book that comes along with this that explains some of the characteristics of the built environment that's pitched at primary school level. Explains the difference between buildings, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical type areas. And then it goes into the different professions and specialisms and some job roles that they can move into. Explains different types of building and the difference between insulation and the difference that insulation in a building will make to comfort levels. So once you've got a foundation on there, you can build up to 7 or 8 layers. Or courses of block, and then the structural stability starts to give away, and you have to add some more structural support. Now we don't have big long beams, but we do have blocks that are that regard themselves as structural beams. So you have to put some steel work in order to support the wall before you can build any higher. We've developed some customized blocks. As you can see by the look of them there, they have an insulation layer in the middle to differentiate them from solid blocks. We keep track. I'm a quantity surveyor by training and profession, moved into project management 15-20 years ago. So I've always appreciated the value of money, so I had to have a quantity surveying aspect and built into this. So it does keep track of the cost of each of the blocks. It keeps track of how much time, multiplies it by an hourly rate. So you've got a full budget for your material and for your labour. So the longer it takes you to build this, the higher your budget. So one of the challenges at primary school level would be you have a budget to complete this in. If you do dig a hole and then you have to fill it in again, you've changed your mind, you want to redesign it, the costs keep building, okay? You don't get any credit if you delete something that you've already put there before. Okay, there's wee tools that allow you to take the internal temperature of the buildings when they're completed. If you've used insulation, you're going to have better comfort levels at the, whenever you test it at the end of your building. Now, those the blocks that you're going to use are going to be more expensive, but in terms of whole life costing and you know, the comfort levels and that kind of thing, you're going to get better scores. So they realise that, you know, from engaging in this sort of challenge, it's not just as simple as you would maybe think at that age. You do have to make choices. You have to make choices between capital cost and operational cost and whole life costings. And I think you've probably seen enough there, and I'll bow out of that. But as I say, we do want to develop this to make it more accessible to various platforms, to make it more usable. We need people to reflect the way Alison's built her model of, you know, stakeholders going into schools and using these sorts of tools. I hope this is a complementary resource. It's aimed more at primary school children who engage in Minecraft more. Once they get into second, third, fourth year at secondary school, they tend to be moving away from Minecraft type games. So, hope that's food for thought.